Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Arab American Heritage Month. A somber denim day, and I hope everyone is doing well this morning. Welcome to this meeting of the Los Angeles City Board of Public Works, Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. Good morning, Dr. Campos.
Good morning, President Good. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Establishing roll call and quorum, we have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Caloza and Villegas. President Good, you do have a quorum at this time. All commissioners are dialing in remotely except for, all commissioners are dialing in remotely. One of those is dialing in from their City Hall office, which is President Good. I'm dialing in myself from my City Hall office, and we're also joined by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, on the line. President Good, again, we do have a quorum at this time. We currently do not have any public comments under general public comments. We do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comments section. We did receive 3 Google comment forms via our online portal. One is a public comment that has been distributed to all commissioners. And we also received 2 comments on item number 2. However, that item number 2 appears to be for the CDP, the appeal for the coastal permit that was heard by this board a few weeks ago.
Thank you.
Those will be entered into the record.
And so no public comment present?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So here, a few pieces of housekeeping. One, I'm going to continue item 4, TBD, in terms of a follow-up date. And then we're going to continue item 11, which is oral report on city trees, to May 7th. What we're going to do here is we will start off with presentations for Arabic American Heritage Month, which is exciting, and we've got a whole crew here, which is cool. And then we'll jump into the regular agenda. All right? Great. Actually, real quick, let's just take the minutes. I don't have minutes, huh? Okay, never mind. We're going to jump right into Arab American Heritage Month. And toward that end, I will pass the proverbial mic or gavel over to Commissioner Teresa Villegas.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Public Works Board meeting and to our special celebration for Arab American Heritage Month. And also, I'm wearing just denim just to support, our fellow women on this special day that was created 22 years ago. So what a special occasion that we can celebrate both all in one. With that, I'm just going to go through just some housekeeping so you all know the chain of events that will happen during this presentation. I will start off the program followed by a short video and message from the mayor and our champion for Arab American Month will follow, and that's Adel Hashkhalil. And then each of the commissioners will also be announcing the nominee for their respective bureaus. And then we will conclude the program. We just wanted to give you a quick rundown so that you all understand and have more information as we go on. With that said, today it is my privilege to join with my fellow commissioners and members of the Public Works and City family in celebration of Arab American Heritage Month by recognizing the achievements of several outstanding men and women from the Department of Public Works. Today, the City Council, Mitchell Farrell, will also lead a wonderful recognition at City Council. And even though these celebrations are virtual, please know that it is critical for us to continue to acknowledge these important cultural heritage months. And during this month of April, we celebrate the history and the culture and the contributions of Arab Americans whose ancestors from 22 Arab nations located in Northern Africa through Western Asia. And the people of these nations are ethnically, politically, and religiously diverse, but we all share a common theme. And in celebration nationwide for Arab American Heritage Month, the theme is mosaic, and it's just filled with educators, writers, and poets, people that we all know and love and who we admire, like our Nobel Peace winner in chemistry and a local Caltech professor, Ahmed Ziwel, and former U.S. Health and Human Services, Donna Shalala, actor Rami Makil, and the Today Show co-host, Hoda Khatbi. And the United States, as some of you may already know, is home to about 3.5 million Arab Americans, with more than 300,000 in California, and more than any other state, with the majority of them living in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. At this time, we will share a brief message from the mayor for Arab American Heritage Month. And I think we have John, who is helping me in just presenting.
There's no sound.
Yeah, am I the only one who can't hear, or?
John, is there a way we can adjust the sound?
It must be on the hardware on the computer itself.
Are you hearing me, Mike?
No.
I hear you, but I think
John,
that
John, it may be best if you stop sharing and then restart the video to see if that could just jog the technology piece.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
I'll share it. I'll try it again.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience.
Hello, I'm Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti.
Can you hear
And
it?
it's my honor to recognize April as Arab American Heritage Month. This is the first year the U.S. State Department has designated an official month to honor Arab Americans. But make no mistake, in Los Angeles, we celebrate Arab American culture and ingenuity, creativity, and heritage every single day. In this city of angels, we feel the extraordinary contributions of Arab Americans all around us, from art and entertainment to science and technology, from those fighting COVID-19 in our hospitals to those serving Angelinos in the corridors of City Hall. And just a few miles from here, Arab American students at UCLA founded the first Arab sorority in the nation, Epsilon Alpha Sigma, also known as the Empowered Arab Sisterhood. I'm proud that Los Angeles is home to one of our nation's largest Arab American communities, a community of kaleidoscopic diversity, a tapestry of many traditions, many backgrounds, and many nations of origin. This month, we lift up the gifts that Arab Americans have given to our city, to our country, and to our world, and speak out against discrimination and hate against them. So, on behalf of the city of Los Angeles, have a happy Arab American Heritage Month. We stand with you.
Thank you, John, for sharing that message. What a wonderful tribute from the mayor. Moving on, today we are proud to have an Arab American leading Streets LA in Adel Hashkhalil. Adel has been with the city for more than 3 decades and has done a wonderful job as general manager and executive director and in various roles in public works. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Adel to say a few words and share a short video. Adel?
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. Thank you to the board, President Good, and all the commissioners, especially Commissioner Aura Garcia and Commissioner Villegas. As we say in Arabic, thank you, shukran. And on behalf of the Arab American community in Los Angeles and all the Arab American City of Los Angeles workers, thank you for recognizing April as Arab American Heritage Month. Thank you for this. And I would say, I know Commissioner Davis always reminds us that about diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion, what makes Los Angeles a great place to live and work. Arab Americans, I'm proud to be part of this beautiful and colorful tapestry that we call Los Angeles. As the late Reverend Martin Luther King said, whatever affects one directly affects all. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This can't be more important than now as we pursue racial justice, as we pursue racial equity, and as we stand against hate, especially against our brothers and sisters in the Asian American community, in the Latino community, in the African American community. We all are one. We may look different, we're all the same. We're all people that love communities, love family, want to do the best for our children. We're all immigrants, came from somewhere. Some of us came early, some of us came late. We're all brothers and sisters. And we all want to do one thing, is to work hard, to build a good place for our families, and to do it with dignity and pride. So I'm honored that many people are actually joining us virtually. Many are on the call here, and I look forward to being at council. And I want to just play this video about it, but I want to share one thing that's dear to my heart. And I'll tell you, after 9/11, I hear Commissioner Calosa said it earlier when we had our meeting about after 9/11, the hate against Arab Americans and has been never getting back to what it was before that. I mean, there's so much hate and so much discrimination. But I'll tell you, after 9/11, my daughter was 5 years old. And this month, next month, she's graduating from law school. But she was 5 at that time. I was at the grocery store, and I was attacked by 2 people. I couldn't, she asked me why. I couldn't answer. And I know what discrimination means to people. So I don't want that to happen to anyone. With that, I want to just play this video about our history and our culture. Thank you. John.
Americans come from 22 countries across the Middle East, the Gulf region, and North Africa. The Arab culture that Arab Americans still hold dear are faith, family, community, and hard work. They share these same values with many other immigrant communities in the United States. Ahlan wa sahlan is welcome in Arabic. Hospitality is very important in Arab culture, and this holds true for Arab Americans as well. Arab Americans immigrated to the United States starting as early as the late 1800s. Arab Americans are diverse. 65% of Arab Americans are Christian, 35% of Arab Americans are Muslim. There are about 4 million Arab Americans living across the United States, and they are an important part of the American tapestry and fabric. California and Los Angeles have one of the largest Arab American populations in the United States. Arab Americans have contributed to our communities in significant ways, from sciences to art, from movies to music. Many are accomplished politicians. Many are scientists, educators, and innovators. Many are poets, writers, and journalists. Many are leaders in medicine. Many are entrepreneurs. Many are professional athletes. And most recently, Arab Americans led the fight against COVID-19, from developing the Moderna vaccine to leading the distribution of the vaccine. Let's join hands in appreciating the culture and contributions of the Arab Americans in our country and in our community.
Thank you for that. And thank you for your special words, Adele. They really mean a lot. Thank you. And at this time, I think we're going to make a slight change just to the schedule. Don't know if my fellow commissioner, Mike Davis.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. I was just going to make a slight change if you
Yes.
if you needed just a little bit of
Yes.
a second.
Yes.
Okay. Go right ahead. Take it away, please.
Thank you so much. Thanks to my colleague, Commissioner Caloza, for making sure that I had all of the data we needed. But first, I'd like to say, I want to thank you, Commissioner Elias, for taking the leadership to make sure that we are inclusive here in the Board of Public Works. It's critically important. And when I think about being a minority in America, one who has come from
Did we lose him?
I think he froze. Why don't we come back to
Okay.
him? Yeah.
in this country called America,
There he is.
it is something that certainly we all must work to make sure that we overcome. It's still the most wonderful country in the world, but with every crown there is a cross to bear. And so I am pleased to present our Arab American City of Los Angeles hero from the Bureau of Contract Administration today, Samir Hussain. He is the Assistant Inspector for the Bureau of Contract Administration. Samir Hussain is a person who is Brazilian, Palestinian, and his family comes from Ramallah and Jerusalem. He joined the Bureau in 2018 and has worked citywide performing all types of inspections, from private development to capital improvement projects. He is currently assigned to West Harbor, LA waterfront project. Throughout Samir's short time at the Bureau, his initiatives, work ethic, and attention to detail dovetail with the Bureau's motto of quality, opportunity, and compliance. His initiative is evident in his growth through BCA's Assistant Training Program. He has earned the nickname Go-To Guy because of the way he has completed hundreds of U-permit inspections, permits required for excavation work. Along with his full-time job, he also continues to learn and grow through education, as he will graduate in June with a master's degree in public administration from California State University, Fulton, and then has plans to obtain special inspector certifications to further expand his knowledge of construction. The Bureau of Contract Administration is delighted and proud to have Samir be recognized. He exemplifies leadership, humility, and commitment to his work and approaches it with enthusiasm and insight. He is among the best and the brightest for the next generation of BCA's inspectors. Join me in recognizing our Arab American hero for outstanding work and contribution to the city of Los Angeles, Samir Hussain.
Thank you. It is an honor being in front of the Board of Public Works. I really appreciate all the kind words, and I'm committed to work as hard as I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samir.
Congratulations. And following Commissioner Davis's presentation, now we have Commissioner Caloza.
Great. Thank you so much, Commissioner Villegas. And thank you again to our Streets LA General Manager, Adel Haj Khalil, for really all your leadership in uplifting the Arab American community. It's a beautiful day to see us continue to recognize and celebrate our diversity in Los Angeles. And I'm so glad that even though we are starting late in celebrating Arab American Heritage Month, that we're at least starting this year, because it's a year that's been tough for so many communities who may be experiencing hate and violence due to what's happening right now as being scapegoated because of COVID-19 or through other issues in the past. So it's important for us to continue to stand with each other, celebrate our diversity, and uplift all communities. So thank you for that, Mr. Haj Khalil. But I'm here to present the honoree for the Bureau of Engineering, and I'm also joined here by Gary Lee Moore, who's our city engineer and general manager for BOE. I'm excited to present that Noor Malhis is the honoree. Congratulations, Noor. Noor is a senior civil engineer with the Bureau of Engineering. He has been with the Bureau for 13 years, having worked in 3 different divisions before moving over to the Architectural Division in 2015, where he has been for the past 6 years. He is responsible for overseeing the infrastructures group, which handles projects related to bridges, bikes, recreational facilities, master planning projects, as well as street projects. No big deal, right? Some of Noor's most notable career projects at BOE include Riverside Drive Viaduct over LA River widening, Taylor Yard Bikeway / pedestrian bridge, LA Riverway San Fernando Valley completion project, First and Broadway Civic Center Park project, and Hollywood Walk of Fame renovation project. All just really tiny projects that Noor likes to work on. Since the beginning of his career, Noor has had a reputation for having excellent work ethic and is always self-motivated to take on complex issues and resolve challenging issues with enthusiasm, as well as taking the extra time to assist his fellow peers. As his career background has progressed, his performance has given him the opportunity to be assigned to some of the Bureau's largest and complex projects. He has been recognized by management, his peers, to be a top performer in his field. This recognition honors all of Noor's work, along with his leadership, humility, and passion for the job, and we look forward to your continued growth with the city, and I'm sure your ongoing list of projects that you've completed will only continue to grow. So congratulations, Noor, for this incredible recognition from the city, from the board, and from your team.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have prepared a speech, and I want to present it now. No, I'm honored, privileged, and humbled to be chosen to receive this nomination. However, this nomination is not just for me. It's for all the Arab Americans in the Bureau of Engineering, and as the city at whole, who strive to uphold the highest level of service and are passionate about their work. I want to first thank Commissioner Caloza and all the other commissioners for giving the presentation and providing this venue for this award or this nomination type of ceremony. And also Gary Lee Moore for all his leadership to make this organization what it is today, and for allowing the opportunity for BOE staff to work on exciting projects. The scope of managing and delivering projects is truly a team effort with many different entities involved and requires support from every player to make it successful. But no project manager or project would be successful without the hard work, support, and commitment of fellow city staff as well as outside agencies. I would like to take this moment to thank the following people in BOE for the past or current guidance and support: Gary Lee Moore, City Engineer; Deborah Weintraub, Chief Deputy City Engineer; Mahmoud Karimzadeh, Deputy City Engineer with the Civic Center Development Program; Reza Bagherzadeh, Principal Civil Engineer for the Civic Center Development Division; Neil Drucker, he was the Division Engineer for the Architectural Division before he retired; Stephen Fierce, Principal Architect for the Architecture Division; Paul Sang, Senior Architect with the Architecture Division; Alhaji Abdullah, Architect for the Architecture Division; Shirley Lau, Principal Civil Engineer for the Bridge Improvement Division; and Scott Gibson, Senior Civil Engineer with the Bridge Improvement Division. I would also like to thank all my fellow staff at BOE that I worked with over the years on projects. I have many people to name, so I'm just going to mention divisions and acknowledge them through divisions: Architecture Division, Bridge Improvement Division, Survey Division, Geotechnical Division, Street and Storm Drain Division, Development Services Division, Real Estate Division, Project Award and Control Division, Construction Management Division, and Administration Division. I'd also like to thank the other bureaus and departments we collaborate with to make these projects possible: LA Sanitation, Streets LA, Bureau of Street Lighting, Bureau of Contract Administration, Department of Rec and Parks, Los Angeles Department of Transportation, General Services Division, Department of Water and Power, Department of Building and Safety, and Department of Cultural Affairs. All these divisions have provided very valuable services to projects that we've managed, and without the hard work and dedication of these people, truly no project would be completed. I'd also like to thank the City Hall team, commissioners of the Board of Public Works, the Mayor's Office, including LA Riverworks, all the council offices, Office of the CAO, Office of the CLA, City Attorney, and for your support and assistance throughout the years, approvals of reports, execution of agreements, being very solutions-oriented and trying to push the project, and also working tirelessly to provide funding for the projects. Without the strong teamwork and partnering with city staff working cohesively, there will truly be no groundbreaking or ribbon-cutting ceremonies. Thanks again for this nomination and for celebrating and facilitating celebrations of diversity within the city. All right, thank you.
Amazing, Nur. Thank you so much. And I think you've just demonstrated why you were the perfect honoree for BOE in a time when we are choosing to recognize you and shine a spotlight on your work. You are choosing to share the limelight and be such a collaborator and to share the love with the team effort that goes into all these projects. So thank you so much, Nur. And you see you have a lot of love here on the screen, even so much so that you've brought some people out of retirement, like Mr. Karimzadeh, who is making a special guest appearance to celebrate with you, I'm sure. So thank you and congratulations, Nur. And I'll turn it back over to Commissioner Villegas.
Yes, thank you so much, and congratulations again, Nur. And at this time, we will turn this over now to our president, President Good, who will do the presentation for LA Sanitation and the Environment.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. That was striking, Nur. Thank you. I would also add that that we see why he is perfectly appropriate, and I feel comfortable as an Angelino having him as an engineer on projects, because you are a thorough dude. You just you covered all the bases. As someone who's written talking points on occasion in my life, you hit them all. Well done. The other thing that is striking, looking at the 3 screens we have here, and I have frankly thought about this in the past, is that, and I don't know if it's particularly Public Works or not, quite frankly, but simply put, the contribution, the truly foundational work and leadership of Arab Americans in the Department of Public Works is profound. But for the work and leadership of Arab Americans in the city of Los Angeles, in the Department of Public Works, we have a different infrastructure in this city. And so thank you to everyone on here, and thank you, Adele, for your leadership and highlighting and encouraging us on this recognition, and it's just pretty awesome. So, for what it's worth, it is my genuine pleasure to also introduce one of our honorees who sadly can't join us for sure, but gladly is not joining us for about the most appropriate reason possible on April 28th, 2021, and that is dealing with what will be minimal drag post second shot. So one more Angelino, one more Arab American, one more human being on the planet Earth is vaccinated. And so once again, an Arab American in the Department of Public Works showing leadership, and I hope everyone on here has gotten their second shot as well. I'm introducing and want to recognize Agarid Solomon. Ms. Solomon is Laboratory Technician 2 in LA Sanitation and Environment. Ms. Solomon is from LA San, and she works at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant in Playa del Rey, that little facility that we run out there. Agreed is in the Toxicity Testing Unit of the Environmental Monitoring Division. She started in that division in August 2002 and has remained there during her nearly 19 years at the city. According to her colleagues, she performs a variety of tasks to ensure the smooth operation of the unit. They involve performing chemical analyses, providing stock solutions for bioassays, and conducting routine water quality measurements. She also conducts routine quality assurance, quality control duties, and is responsible for glassware washing, autoclaving, and storage. Ms. Solomon has a quiet personality. She is a hard worker. She gets along very well with the coworkers and supervisors, and she takes care of business. Agreed, thank you. Wherever you're at, I hope you're resting. Thank you for all your important work that you do at LA Sanitation and Environment and helping the city ensure that our water quality is what it is. And so we thank you, Ms. Solomon, and wish you were here, but you'll get your certificate. I believe Stacy and Farhana Mohammed are here to represent. Do you want to add anything about Ms. Solomon?
I'm going to request Stacy Kanya. She's the manager, most appropriate to say a few things about Agari. But by the way, I also deal with her. She's very soft-spoken and really superb work ethics. Really like her, and she's going through health problem, but she said no, she has to get the shot so that she can protect her family as well as the people her co-workers. So I really appreciate her work ethics. So Stacy, you want to say a few things?
Thank you, Ms. Mohammed.
Sure.
Hi, good morning. So I've actually been in contact with Agari. She knows about this presentation. She is very much would have loved to attend, but I have a message that she had sent me this morning that thank you so much for the recognition. It means a lot to her. She would have loved to attend with everyone, but unfortunately she is not feeling well, but she really appreciates the recognition, and she really appreciates the celebration of Arab American Heritage Month. And hopefully we can share maybe this recording or something with her so that at a later time when she's feeling better, she can enjoy it. But, on her behalf, thank you. And as Farhana, our division manager, mentioned, she is very soft-spoken. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met here in EMD. She is a very hard worker and cares about her co-workers and her job very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kanya. And thank you, Ms. Mohammed. Wish her well. And yeah, if you could please share the recording, please do. That'd be great. All right, Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Stacy and Hannah, for saying a few words on behalf of our honoree. And congratulations. It is also my pleasure just to introduce my fellow commissioner, Aura Garcia, and helping me also with today's event and just keeping me in line with other little tidbits that go on in planning these events, because there's a lot of little details. I couldn't have done it without her. So thank you so much, Commissioner Garcia. I give you the floor.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Villegas. Well, it's an honor to work with you, but also it's an honor to be here with among such great folks that represent our city and that really make up the city that we have. I just want to say that, Adele, that video that you shared with us about the Arab community and helping us and educate us on what era the community believes in, I really felt touched with the I think it was the second slide, which is the faith, family, community, and hard work. that is the demonstration of a lot of us, including us. I'm Latino, I'm Central American, my family's from Central America, and that's really the pillars of my family. And my family that I've constructed, that I've created with my kids, my husband, we really do work around those 4 pillars. So I got a little emotional because I just felt like you just kind of grasped everything that I really worked to as a person. And so I'm happy to align myself with your community, with your culture as well, and very proud to be here to celebrate today's Arab celebration. And I hope, and I continue and will continue to celebrate this celebration as the years go on. So this is the first of many years, and thank you, Adele, and to everyone here that is making today possible. And so I wish we were at the chamber so that this can be a really big celebration, and we probably would have had a really nice potluck after. But you know, this is the first one, and we'll continue to do this. So thank you for that amazing contribution to our board and to our department, to the Arab community. So with that, it is my honor to highlight and congratulate Assad Al-Najjar. Assad, congratulations. Street Lighting Engineer, Project Manager 1 at the Bureau of Street Lighting. Assad began his career in 1989 as a street lighting engineering associate in the Bureau of Street Lighting, and he is currently the project manager for the Transit Engineering Division. He has supported the Bureau in many positions and projects throughout the years. His past roles include managing the Community of Service Division, servicing as the Engineering Associate 4 in the Transit Lighting Division, monitoring and construction of the light transit projects in coordination with MTA, LADOT, and Caltrans, and working as a construction engineer in the Energy Efficient Division. Assad is a go-getter and is always looking to make contributions to work and in the community. Assad takes great interest in the smart city technologies and new innovations that may advance street lighting in the city for years to come. In addition to outstanding work in the city, he is a board member on the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council. He has served as a member of the LAPD CPAD and volunteers in many city programs to better serve Angelenos. And on a personal note, I want to say I truly miss Assad with his great energy, his positive energy that he shares with everybody he meets and with everything he does. So with that, congratulations, Assad, on today's nominee.
Thank you, Commissioner. And special thanks goes, of course, to our Mayor Garcetti, to the whole Board of Public Works, and to the City Council. And it's a great day for this recognition for all the Arab Americans. And of course, special thanks goes to Adel Haji Khalil. He is the godfather for all the Americans in USA. Take care of all of us. And special thanks goes to the director of Bureau of Street Lighting, Miguel Sengalang, and Megan Hackney. They always made the Bureau as my second home, and sometimes it's my first home. Today is great because the road has been long, but the fruits are here today. I don't want to repeat on most of what Noor said, but I'll echo on what he said. And it's an honor for me to accept this recognition. And at the same time, I feel it's a team member recognition, along with my colleagues at Street Lighting, Zuhair Shihab, James Abed, Raed Abu Hassan, Lawrence Al-Masoud, Siraj Abu Hassan, and Christopher Al-Masoud. We are all part of a big diversified team, and we work together, and we will make you proud of all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Teresa, Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you, and
by the way, I'm going to interrupt and just say I'm going to start calling Adele the Godfather.
Thank you, and congratulations, Assad. Very well deserved. Thank you for breaking up the tone, President Good. It is my pleasure just to also introduce our next honoree for Streets LA, Mr. Elias Nahar. If I was to see the name Elias Nahar, I would just say Elias, and I would pronounce it in Spanish. But it's good to see that we share different names in common with other cultures. And he is with Streets LA. He is a tree supervisor for urban forestry. And he's been with the city since 2014 as a tree surgeon for the Department of Recreation and Parks before transferring over to Streets LA in 2017. And during his time at Recreation and Parks, Elias was involved in the department's tree inventory system when he came over to Streets LA. His involvement and experience made him the best candidate to assist in developing the Bureau's new tree inventory system. The inventory has been a great success as more than 325,000 locations have been completed since it was started last year. And in addition to training all of the urban forestry staff on how to navigate the tree inventory system, he also identifies tree care and all the needs associated with that. And he helps tree planting and obtains permits and inspects newly planted trees. Elias, thank you for all of your hard work and your responsibilities that you've taken on to help care and manage for our vast and large tree canopy. This is such an important issue with the city of Los Angeles as we deal with the continuous challenges of climate change. And having your knowledge and experience will be one that was greatly appreciated and will help us in the years to come. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really want to take this opportunity and thank Adele and everyone here for this award. And again, I really want to thank Adele for this opportunity and the leadership that he gave everyone here. Such a great time, and he's always open, his door's always open, his heart's always open for us and willing to be there for us. I also want to thank my leaders for the opportunity to put me for this tree keeper inventory system. Greg Spot and David Miranda, Hector Benuela, Stephen Dupree, and for the trust to be able to manage this system. Again, as everybody mentioned it's not just one person here, it's a team effort. We always work as a team, and we always together, we can make it happen, and we can create a better and sustainable, manageable, and safer urban forestry division. Thank you, everyone, again. Thank you.
Congratulations. And I learned a new word today, shukran. Thank you. Now I will turn this over to our board executive officer, Dr. Fernando Campos, who will also have a recognition for the Board of Public Works.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas, Fernando Campos. If I could have Hannah turn on her camera if she's on the line. And then I'm also joined by Mehdi and Miguel de la Pena from the Office of Accounting. First, I wanted to say congratulations to all the nominees and everyone that's being recognized today. Akhared, Samir, Elias, Noor, Assad, congratulations. And also congratulations to Hannah for your recognition. This is a great day. And just seeing the diversity in terms of inclusivity and then all the work that's being done for the city of Los Angeles. We also have a hero in the Board of Public Works as well, Ms. Hannah Eady, who's on the line with us today. And it's my pleasure to recognize her, who works with the Sewer and Construction and Maintenance Division here with the Office of Accounting. She's been with us since about February of 2019, about 2 years, and she handles a lot of our accounts payable. And so just for those of you that are not familiar with accounts payable, basically she pays our bills. And as long as the bills are being paid, everyone is fine. The minute a payment doesn't get done, everyone starts calling. So she has a very, very, very important role with the Department of Public Works. We are the second largest city department, and she's responsible for processing thousands of invoices, not hundreds, thousands of invoices that go for sewer and construction repair, for our emergency sewer repairs, our secondary sewer repair program as well. So we thank her for all the work that she has done in accounting. Hannah received her bachelor's degree in accounting from Cairo University in 2000. After migrating to the United States in 2007, she held positions at Bank of America, Princess Cruises, and also professional accounting firms. Hannah is very assertive, driven, and a hard worker. She strives to finish her work on time. She is also a fast learner, and she and her supervisors have come to me and also have come to depend on her for critical reporting matters, not only in paying the bills, but also reporting on what's the status of those bills as well. Something about Hannah that many of us may not know, Hannah has a lot of talents, right? So Hannah loves working with balloons for decorating personal and professional celebrations. So she's very creative. And I think that's kind of contributes why she does so well in the Office of Accounting, because accounting is so detail oriented. The decorative piece and also doing celebrations and working with balloons, you have to be creative. You have to be delicate with working with the balloons as well. So that transfers over into the workplace as well. A former music team leader also in high school. Her instrument was the accordion, so she plays the accordion, all the string instruments. She enjoys cooking and also is eager to try new recipes. Gardening helps her relax also, and she has 14 fruit trees in her backyard, so that keeps her busy. She also enjoys traveling and hiking. I'd like to also indicate that she lives with her husband and also as a mother in Santa Clarita. And so with that, I'd like to have everyone welcome Hannah for all her work with the Office of Accounting. And Hannah, if you're on the line, if you can, I'll turn the microphone over to you.
Yes, thank you so much for this recognition. I really appreciate it. And also, I'm joining through my camera from my phone because the work computer doesn't have a camera. So I'm here. I can see all of you. I truly appreciate it so much, and it's a great opportunity for me to be part of the city family. It's been a privilege to be part of the SC&M team. I would like also to thank you, Miguel, Mehdi, and Aki for a great leadership, and of course, Dr. Fernando. Also, this recognition goes to everyone on my team. They have been working so hard since we started together, and getting our vendors paid. It makes them happy and makes everyone else happy. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be part of the city team, and thank you everyone for this great celebration.
Congratulations. Thank you. And thank you for paying our bills. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been really a big pleasure to be able to honor all of our Angelinos today from Arab American culture. I have a motorcycle driving by my house right now. Of course, these are all the things that we have to deal with during this pandemic while we're staying at home. This past year, as everybody knows, has been difficult for all of us in many different ways. And we recognize the additional responsibilities that you've had to take on both in your jobs and at home. But as we see more positive movement with this pandemic, we hope that some sense of normalcy is on the horizon. And along with my fellow commissioners of all of Public Works, we are proud to support and acknowledge the honorees and all of the Arab Americans throughout the department and throughout the city family that are all doing exemplary work. Each of you has a unique role and skills that play an important and vital role that make up the city of Los Angeles. Here at City Hall, we are led by the mayor, who's been a lifelong champion of equity and diversity. And we as commissioners will continue to honor our part to support the equity and diversity of our departments and provide the tools and resources to continue doing our jobs and provide the opportunity for growth. The board is proud to recognize each of you today and remains committed to showcasing the stories of our men and women throughout Public Works and in the future. Thank you again to all the honorees for all of your hard work and for joining us today. And let's give a virtual applause. Thank you so much. Shukran. And I turn it back to President Good.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, Commissioner Villegas and Vice President Garcia, for your leadership on this. Great job, really great job. And again, thank you to Adele, who I think moved over to City Council presentation on Arab American Heritage Month, which is exciting. And thank you all for joining our honorees, but also Bureau leadership who showed up to introduce and say good words. It's crucial and important to recognize the contributions of so many folks, and it's really an important piece of our work. So thank you all, and happy Arab American Heritage Month. Thank you all very much. So with that, on to more mundane matters, but the matters that keep us rolling. We will move into our agenda and we'll kick right in. Don't worry, I'm going to give you a recess in a little bit. First, we're going to take a couple of items. First, we'll take item number, actually real quick, item number one. Item number one is the receipt of bids for the Los Angeles Neighborhood Improvements Evergreen Park Street Enhancement Project, federal project number CML-5006-859, work order E1908309, estimated cost $685,630, and this is in Council District 14. Kumi is with me, as is Dr. Campos, and we will now open bids.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, we will open up the bids again. This is for Lonnie. This is in Council District 14. We did receive 2 bids for this project. The first bid received is from Axiom Group for a total bid amount of $797,550 even. That's $797,550 from the Axiom Group. For the record, the total bid amount has been crossed out but has not been initialed by the contractor. Again, that total bid amount is $797,550 from Axiom Group. The second and final bid received for this project is from CEM Construction Corporation for a total bid amount of $690,300 even. That's $690,300 from CEM Construction Corporation. Mr. President, that concludes the bid openings for today's agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. Thank you, Kumi. Do I have a motion to accept these bids?
So
I think Davis got it first. I'm going to take it as a second from Villegas. Colosa, Garcia, any concerns? All right, hearing none. These bids for the Lonnie Evergreen Park Street Enhancement Project are accepted and adopted forthwith. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Oh, they're gone. Just like that. Okay, colleagues, let's move to item number 2. Item number 2 is final closeout change order number 12, Alameda Construction Services, Inc. for the Ventura Boulevard Sidewalk Improvement Project, recommending the board authorize the city engineer to issue final closeout change order number 12 for the Ventura Boulevard Sidewalk Improvement Project to make final quantity adjustments for a deduction of $223,096.64. It's work order E1907960 and C-129095. I bet Greg Vandergriff is here for this item.
Actually, Commissioner, it'll be Steve Chin from the Bureau of Engineering.
You know, with Zoom, I like guessing. So forgive me. It's good to see you, Greg. I know you're up for later. Steve Chen, how are you?
Hi. Good morning, President Good.
Good to see you.
Good. Good morning, everyone. Steve Chen with the Bureau of Engineering. And just to give you a quick background on this project was to construct sidewalk improvements at various locations along Ventura from the 101 freeway to Goodland Avenue. Goodland Avenue is just east of Coldwater Canyon, to give you an idea of where that's located. The improvements included construction of new sidewalks, driveways, curb ramps, retaining walls, and addition of trees. In addition to that, we were requested by the council office to add additional scope to the project along Langenshire Boulevard between Bowes Street and Van Owen Street. And that included construction of missing sidewalks, curb ramps, curb and gutters, and driveways. After the project was completed, it was determined that we had a lot of unused quantities from the project, and that's what amounted to the savings of $223,000. Some of the items that we had anticipated that we actually did not encounter were things like contaminated soil. A lot of the businesses that were adjacent to these sidewalk locations were body shops and mechanics, and so we were anticipating that, but we didn't run into any contaminated soil. We also had anticipated some work possibly on adjacent property, which we not have to. That was not needed. So this was a project where we just were being very careful about it, and we didn't have to use some of the unforeseen allowances that we were anticipating. So that's the reason for this reduction in the quantities. And that concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
So Steve Chen has updated his background. I miss his Lakers stuff. But just to be clear, this is accepting a final change order to reduce the cost.
Correct, yes. Yes.
I think I can guess the reaction of my colleagues. Vice President Garcia, any questions?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Steve Chen, good morning. I don't have any questions. This is pretty self-explanatory, and thank you for your report.
Welcome. Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Dr. Davis? You're muted, but I think you're...
Thank you. I'm fine on that report. Thank you, Steve.
Sounds good. Thank you. Villegas?
I have no questions either. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. And Closa?
Thank you, President Good. I don't have any questions for Mr. Chen. Thank you for the cost savings. So I know your team has been working hard on this project.
And it's cost savings with extra work too. Extra cost savings. This is like a little mini championship. All right, Closa, you want a motion to move this forward?
Happy to. So moved.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Villegas, Garcia, concerns or epiphanies?
None.
No, none.
All right, hearing none, the item is adopted forthwith. Thank you very much, Steve. It's good to see you. Like the mirror.
No, thanks.
Okay, let's go to item number 3. Item number 3, colleagues, is a revised construction budget increase. Main Street improvements, Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to Imperial Highway Complete Streets project, recommending the board authorize $450,000 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $9,991,400 for the Main Street improvements, Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to Imperial Highway Complete Streets project, work order E1908426 and C-133392. Who do I have with us today on this one?
That'd be me again.
Oh, Steve, there you go. All right. Go for it, sir.
Sure, thank you. Well, good morning again. Steve Chen with the Bureau of Engineering. This project, the Main Street Complete Streets project, is a 5.5 mile, consists of 5.5 miles of reconstructing and repairing damaged streets, sidewalks, curb ramps, and curbs and gutters. It also includes Vision Zero and Green Street elements, such as new traffic signals, traffic signal upgrades, which includes protective left turns. It also includes bioswales and a dry well. So this project, back in the 2020 to 21 first construction progress report, Council authorized additional increase in the funding for this project by $1.57 million, which increased the project amount from $13.9 million to $15.47 million. And this was to provide additional scope for the design and construction of access ramps and for additional street resurfacing. However, the Main Street, this project did encounter additional unforeseen conditions, which included utility locations and traffic signal work. And after reevaluating and getting approval from our Complete Streets Oversight Committee, it was agreed to cancel that additional change order work and associated curb ramp work and apply that to these unforeseen conditions to complete the original scope of work. And so the council adopted on February 3rd, 2021, authorized the reprogramming of $450,000 of the $1.57 million to address these unforeseen site conditions that were encountered. Again, some of these unforeseen conditions included utility locations, traffic signal work. Some of these traffic signal boxes were required to be relocated due to unforeseen issues. We had, for example, an accident occur at one of the intersections, and then a traffic accident. And also we had fiber optic cables that were found and that were not aware of initially, and then we had to relocate those. And this requires specialized tools and equipment. So that's the need for, or that's the reason for the repurposing of the funds to cover these costs. So that summarizes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Steve. President Pro Tem Davis, any questions? Why don't you start us off?
None on this particular item. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Garcia?
No questions from me either. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Villegas?
No questions.
All right, and Commissioner Closer?
No questions for me either. Mr. Chen briefed me on this, but nice to see it's continuing to move forward.
Thank you. Ditto. I just for my own edification, Steve. So council approved an increase in the macro budget. This contract within that budget was also increased via change order.
Yeah. So basically, we had the increase of 1.57 million for the overall macro project budget. However, since council had approved it for the purpose of the initial the change order work for the additional curb ramps and resurfacing along a certain stretches from 91st to Century Boulevard, that element was decided to not to be included in the project, and so of that 1.57 million, we were basically repurposing that amount and only taking 450,000 of that amount to address unforeseen change orders.
And that 450 is the add-on to the contract within the macro project.
Yeah, but it's less than the 1.57 million that we had initially. Yeah, right.
Okay. Where's the rest of that going?
It's still we haven't used it yet, so we're just asking for 450.
Potentially be used for any other additional containment.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. This is a great project, by the way.
It's almost done too.
It's exciting.
Thanks.
Really exciting. One really technical note on page 3 in the summary of change orders. We have change orders per this board report, and it says 425. Is that a typo?
Yeah, you're right. Interesting. Oh, no, what that is that the 425, but then if you notice the table below that, the total amount of contingency requested is 450. We actually asked for a little contingency within the 450, so that's really what we think. We only have 425 that we would need to use.
that was my that was what I thought, but I wanted to just double check at my wonky best. Okay, great. All right, do I have a motion to move this forward?
So, I will second.
Okay, take Davis's motion, seconded by Calosa. Garcia, Villegas, concerns or issues?
None for me.
And none for me either. Thank you.
All right, hearing no concerns, the item is adopted forthwith. Thank you very much, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wrapping up. Okay. Folks, let's, as a reminder, so I see Scott Harrigan, I just want to remind you that item 4 we have, and Ollie's still here, that just in case, item 4 we have continued. Okay, good. Just want to make sure I didn't want y'all holding. And then, Carl, oh, y'all, I bet you're here for 5 too. What I would like to do is take a quick 5-minute recess. So I see nodding heads in appreciation. That makes me happy. So we will return at 11:23. The meeting is officially in recess as of now. Thanks, y'all. See you in a second.
Mr. President.
No problem.
All right. Recording is confirmed. Would you like me to establish quorum, Mr. President?
Yes, please. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
Great. Thank you. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, reestablishing quorum and roll call. It is 11:26 a.m. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioners Calosa and Villegas. President Good, you do have a quorum. We're also joined by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan.
Failed to say good morning to Ted. Hello, Ted.
Morning.
Okay, let's go straight to item 5, folks. Item 5 is preparation of ordinance, design, build contract, clean water and stormwater control system upgrade and integration project. Recommending the board request the city council to request the office of city attorney to prepare and present an ordinance according to section 371 to allow the Board of Public Works to use a design build contract for the delivery of the Bureau of Sanitation, Clean Water and Stormwater Control System upgrade and integration project. This is continued from our board meeting on Wednesday, April 21. Who's presenting on this? Nadina?
I thought you were going to take a wild guess. You got it right. You got it right.
I knew, but I wanted to just check in.
Not so wild. Hi, good morning, President. Good morning, Commissioners. So before your board is a procedure-based request related to the city charter, Charter Section 371 in the remarks or the recommendation that President Good read. Ali Pusti and Sam Alavi are here to discuss the underlying project, which is the Clean Water and Stormwater Control System Upgrade and Integration Project. I will make some just general description of that project, but questions should really be directed to Sanitation as to what the project is going to accomplish, and also why the design build delivery mechanism makes sense here. I'm really going to explain more the procedure, what Charter Section 371 requires and why we're before your board today. So generally the project is to complete the control system upgrade of the clean water and stormwater facilities to achieve a fully functional, reliable, enterprise-level distributed control system, sometimes called DCS, and supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA, that I'm sure has been discussed before your board before, system, and to integrate these systems in the clean water and stormwater facilities to the LA WINS, which is the upgrade that took place at the 4 water reclamation plants already. This project is intended to be a design build project delivery. So that means that the selected proposer would be both the designer and the builder of the project. And this is where the city charter comes in, and Charter Section 371B specifically. The city's default for construction is design, bid, build, just like we had this morning, 2 bids that were opened. So that means that the city designs the project and then issues a request for bid based on that city design. But for areas in which the city has expertise in designing, design, bid, build makes sense. However, where instead the design would benefit from the experience or expertise of the contractor itself, maybe it's a hyper-technical issue and that's where sanitation can kind of fill in some of these blanks. Design build is a different project delivery system than the design, bid, build default that the city typically uses. But design build project delivery is one that's contemplated within the city charter also, just with certain procedural prerequisites. So under that charter section that I've referenced, 371B, for a design build project, there must be an ordinance, a city ordinance, permitting a competitive sealed proposal. It's basically an RFP. So there is some criteria that's specified in that ordinance that the ultimate award cannot be made to a proposer whose final proposal is higher as to the ultimate cost to the city. So there's some qualitative elements. And the ordinance also sets out criteria for that competitive proposal, for that RFP. And it's interesting because for council, this ordinance may actually be the only time that a capital project, if 5 years or under, which is the case of this project, would even be before that body. So why are we here? For LA San to have a design build delivery by RFP and ordinance is necessary under the charter. And the typical route of an ordinance request would be by a council member motion in the council district where the project is located. But here the project is citywide because of all the different control systems and stations where they're all located. And so my understanding, and as sanitation can confirm, is that this really touches all 15 council districts. So the recommendation from this body will initiate that council ordinance request process. The project will also be before your body on multiple other occasions, unlike for council. Before RFP issuance, of course, you will be consulted once again, and at award as well, where you'll need to be you will need to make findings consistent with Charter Section 371 also. But that's sort of my procedural backdrop. If there are any questions on procedure, any questions on the project itself, myself or the representative of sanitation, including Ali Pusti, are available to respond.
Thank you, Adina. Excellent. Really appreciate that. Ali, do you want to add anything?
No, good morning, Mr. President. Ali Pusti, LA Sanitation and Environment. No, I think Adina covered almost everything. We are under this project. We'll be covering nearly 30 pumping stations, 44 pumping stations, 30 stormwater facilities, and 13 air treatment facilities. And it is important for us to have all of these under one roof, designed by one contractor, so we will have consistent and uniform system in place. That makes a lot of sense. So in that regards, we are requesting the board to allow us to do an RFP or design build for this particular project.
Definitely makes sense. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ali. Colleagues, we'll open it up for discussion. Commissioner Closa.
President Good. I don't have any questions. Ms. Hoppenstand and Mr. Pusti were kind enough to brief me on this, and they answered all of my questions already, so appreciate it.
Thank you. Commissioner Villegas.
Thank you. I read through this last week. I just had a few questions, but I'm good with this. I really appreciate Adina's explanation. Thank you for that. It was really comprehensive. And thank you, Mr. Puzi, also for just getting back to me. It made sense. It's pretty lengthy and complicated, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. I do have a question, and probably a couple ones. Adina, and you alluded to this in your presentation, but and forgive my ignorance on this part, but will by us, if this gets approved, right? By us approving this does not give the Bureau of Sanitation a blanket authority to do this all the time, does it?
No, not at all. I mean, it's not even a blanket authority for this project. All it does is move the request for an ordinance to council so that council can formally make that request to my office to initiate this project only. And then sanitation will have to be before your board yet again, just even to issue the RFP. So this is not only not a blanket issuance at all, it's not even a blanket issuance on this project.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, and Commissioner Garcia, Dina's done a fabulous job explaining it. It is typical for these kinds of ordinances, and the city does these from time to time. It is typical that these ordinances are project specific. In a number of cases, there's been some description and authorization for categories of projects, but these 371 ordinances are almost always project specific. So it grants the authority for that specific project only. There are some provisions in the code that more generally describe when this type of competitive sealed proposal that is available, but they're very narrow categories that were added by the council over the years. For our purposes, these are project-specific ordinances. They're uncodified, so the council adopts it using the procedural processes for the adoption of ordinances. They don't actually get baked into the city's administrative code or municipal code.
Okay. Okay, that clears it up. That's all. That was my big question. Thank you so much.
So these don't enter the municipal code?
Yeah, they're uncodified ordinances. And so there are, this is not the only example of an uncodified ordinance. Specific plans are adopted as ordinances and so on.
Okay.
I would just add that even if uncodified, it's still public record. It's in a council file. It's still totally findable. It just doesn't end up in the municipal code or administrative code.
Okay. Okay, that's all for me, President Good.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Dr. Davis?
Yes, Dina, did you say after it goes to the council, it will come back to the board for review? Is that right? Or
Not the ordinance, but the project itself is going to be before this body multiple times. So after, if the board takes action today on the recommendation, then the request for the ordinance will move to council, and it'll go through the council committee process to ultimately to council to request the city attorney for an ordinance. Once the city attorney transmits that ordinance, it probably will not come back to board. It will go just straight through the council process of ordinance approval. But all that ordinance does is all it means is that sanitation can then go back to your body, to your board, and ask for the permission to issue an RFP consistent with the ordinance. So
we needed the authority of council because we're making a structural change here in terms of trying to have everything in one location, as it was said earlier, or?
It's because it's a design build project delivery. That's why an ordinance is required under the charter. The charter doesn't say how that ordinance gets requested, but because this is really a citywide project and it's not fitting for a single council office sponsor, we're going to your board because you can initiate then that council process by which council will then request the ordinance. But all that ordinance does, once again, is authorizes a competitive sealed proposal, basically an RFP to issue. And because it's this specific type of project delivery, not the city standard. Sure. And then all the other elements of the project will be before your board because of it's clearly within your jurisdiction and will appear, as I said, at minimum before issuance of the RFP and, of course, before any award.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you. Crystal clear explanation. So this is, thank you, Dr. Lewis. This is, and I'm sure everyone saw that this is ultimately a $26 million project, right?
That is correct.
It's a big project, and I have to say, I think the design build framework here makes a lot of sense, and I'll motion to move this item forward. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Davis. Villegas, Colosa, Garcia, any concerns? All right, hearing no concerns, the item is adopted forthwith. This just goes as a transmittal to council. How do they, and does it just go up onto their agenda?
That is correct, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. We will now transmit this to the City Clerk to go to City Council. At that point, the City Attorney's Office will be copied in, and then they can start working on that ordinance, pending the City Council's approval first, and then they will go ahead and submit the ordinance.
Got it. Okay. Thanks, Adina. Thank you, Ali. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to item 6, folks. Item 6 is a purchase order, primary sedimentation tanks, Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, primary battery A, recommending the board, 1, authorize the purchase of covers for existing primary sedimentation tanks located in primary battery A at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, with a maximum cost of $1,100,000, including taxes, shipping, and handling. And 2, authorize the Director of the Bureau of Sanitation to direct the Department of General Services to solicit bids, select the lowest and most responsive bidder that meets specifications, and create a one-time purchase order for the purchase of the aforementioned items. Work order SZH11907. Who's with us? I see Sherry Simons. Do we not get to see you on here, Sherry?
Yes, I hopefully I've unmuted myself.
Yes, you have.
Okay. Good morning, President Good and Commissioners. I'm Sherry Simons. I'm a process engineer at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. As President Good said, it's a little facility by the bay that the city operates. And I just want to give a brief background for this purchase. The primary treatment process at Hyperion consists of multiple rectangular underground settling tanks operating in parallel, and each tank is approximately 300 feet by 60 feet and 18 feet deep. And in the process, sewage enters these tanks, and the velocity and the turbulence decreases, which allows heavy organics to sink to the bottom and lighter materials to float to the top. And the tanks have mechanical chain and flight systems to remove the sludge and the grease. Now, these tanks have access covers to repair and inspect the mechanical equipment inside. And each tank itself has about 4,000 square feet of covers. And in addition to access, the covers provide safety for personnel working on the tanks or in the area, and they also contain odors. And these covers have reached the end of their life cycle. They have corrosion, which causes them to be brittle, and operations and maintenance has reported there's been some breakage, and which is a potential safety issue. And in addition, the corrosion prevents the covers from seating airtight, and odors are escaping. So this project is the first phase of a multi-phase project to replace the cover systems on primary batteries A, B, and C. And it was approved by LA Sand and Environment, the Program Review Committee, as part of Hyperion's Capital Equipment Replacement Program. And funds are available in Capital Fund SCM, so this will not affect the general fund. And Hyperion Maintenance will be providing the labor to install these covers. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Sherry. Sorry, I was having a hard time with mute. Commissioner Colosa, any questions?
Thank you, President Good. Thank you for your presentation, Sherry. I do have a question. So are we asking to purchase a specific kind of cover for these tanks? And if so,
yeah.
Okay, so is this kind of like a sole source, essentially?
It's not a sole source, but we've developed specifications for them. So this could be open to all fabricators, but they do need to be able to demonstrate that they can construct covers that can meet these specifications.
Got it. Okay. That's the only clarification I needed, because you're very specific, but not specific enough for the manufacturer. Like, I know some of the equipment that you all have at your treatment plant are highly specialized, and I know we've done a number of sole source. So thank you for clarifying that that's not what this is. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Garcia.
Thank you so much. Sherry, just for the record, where is this funding coming from?
It's coming from the Sewer Capital Maintenance and Operations Fund, SCMO.
Perfect. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that was said. I don't know, in today's record. I don't have any other questions. Thank you so much, Sherry, for this.
Sure.
Thank you, Vice President. Commissioner Villegas?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And President Pro Tem Davis?
I'm good on this presentation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I too am good with this. Seems critical, and I know this will be an ongoing project for the rest of the tanks, right, Sherry?
Yes, it will. Each fiscal year, we'll do a different battery.
That's smart. So you're just going through basically a rotation to get them all eventually replaced.
It is, and doing it this way allows our maintenance staff to do this, and they can manage it with their existing workload.
That makes sense. Also smart. Great. So do I have a motion to move this forward?
So move.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Do I have a second?
Second that.
All right. Calosa, Garcia, any concerns? All right.
None from me.
Great. Hearing no concerns, got a motion from Davis to move this forward, seconded by Commissioner Villegas. And no objection. Hearing no objections, the item is adopted forthwith. Thank you, Ms. Simons.
And thank you.
All right. That brings us to item 7. I think we'll get Brett Reynolds back now. My hunch. Or is Ian joining us? Hey, Brett. How are you?
Hi, President. Good. It's actually Ian doing this one.
Where is he?
Right here.
He's there. Very good. Hey, Ian, how are you?
Pretty good, sir. How are you?
Good, good, good. I thought it would be you, but I wasn't sure there was any, I didn't see you on there. Sorry about that. All right, item 7. Item 7 is for a project in CDs 3, 5, 11, and 12. This is project labor agreement, West Side Mobility, Phase 2. CD 5, West Side Traffic Signal Improvements and Warner Center Project. Recommending the board add the Department of Public Works project labor agreement to this project. Work order E1908861. Ian Monte is with us. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning again. Good morning, commissioners, board representatives. My name is Ian Monte, representing the Office of Contract Compliance within the Bureau of Contract Administration. And again, I'm here to request adding the Department of Public Works project labor agreement to the West Side Mobility Phase 2 project. The project is located throughout the city's boundaries within council districts number 3, 5, 11, and 12. As President Good stated, city engineers estimated total construction cost of just over $5 million. The project consists of traffic signal improvements that will improve safety and mobility for pedestrians, bicyclists, and transit users. It also includes the installation of new traffic signals with curb ramp upgrades, the installation of left turn phasing at existing signalized intersections, the installation of pedestrian hybrid beacons at intersections throughout the city. As has been stated previously with other requests to add the PLA, this PLA does provide numerous benefits to the city during the construction of public works projects, and that includes to help ensure that quality work is done properly without costly corrections to the project. It also helps ensure that the project is completed on time without any stoppages to the project with labor disputes and grievances. There's actual language within the PLA that addresses that. And it also provides the fact that the job will be done safely by providing access to skilled workers with a commitment to training. The current and past completed PLA projects have created an average of 13 jobs per $1 million of project cost. And based on that average, it's estimated that the West Side Mobility Phase 2 project could potentially generate 66 jobs and career opportunities. And all of these local hire provisions are monitored by the Bureau of Contract Administration. So with that, it is our recommendation that the PLA be added to this project, and I'm available for questions.
Thanks, Ian. Dr. Davis, any questions?
None for me.
Thank you. Vice President Garcia?
None from me either, but very happy to support this as we always increase jobs. It's always a good thing here.
Great. Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Commissioner Closa?
Thank you, President Good. No questions for me. Ian gets the fun job of bearing the good news for PLAs, so always nice to see him.
Yeah, no kidding. He gets all the he gets the great items. Thanks, Commissioner Closa. Villegas.
I have none either. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right, Ian. Yeah, it sounds good to me as well. So I have no questions. I'll move the item forward. Anybody got a second for me?
Second.
Got a second from Closa. Davis, Villegas, Garcia. Any questions or concerns?
None.
All right. Hearing no concerns or objections, the item is adopted forthwith and the project labor agreement attached to it, which brings us right into item number 8. Item number 8 is project labor agreement in more council districts than I'm going to articulate for traffic light synchronization program phase 2 package 2, recommending the board add the Department of Public Works project labor agreement to this project. Work order E1908869. Ian, tell us about this one.
All right, thank you again, President Good. So much like the previous project, coming before the board to request that the traffic light synchronization program phase 2 package 2 be added to the project labor agreement. So just for the record, I will read in the different council districts where this project is located throughout. Council districts number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, and 15. The city engineers estimate a total construction cost of $5.492 million. The traffic light synchronization program phase 2 package 2 project consists of the replacement of traffic signal cabinets and CCTV cameras, signal timing installation, and traffic signal communication upgrades for a computer-controlled traffic signal system. The project includes the procurement, testing, configuration, wiring, and installation of traffic signal cabinets, controllers, CCTV cameras, auxiliary equipment, interconnect, and video fiber that will improve traffic management, signal synchronization, and safety while focusing on early incident detection, transit priority, emergency preemption, enhanced network management, and emergent transportation modes. This work will occur in multiple intersections across the aforementioned council districts. Again, the Department of Public Works PLA has numerous benefits to the city, which includes ensuring that the quality work is done without costly corrections and helps to ensure that the project is completed on time. It's also going to help provide safety to the project while providing access to skilled workers with a commitment to training. And again, the PLA has language within it that forbids any types of work stoppages, strikes, or lockouts, thereby promoting public interest and ensuring, again, that the project is completed timely. Based again on the math of the average of 13 jobs per $1 million of project costs, it's anticipated that the traffic light synchronization program phase 2 package 2 project will generate 71 jobs and career opportunities. And again, the Bureau of Contract Administration monitors all targeted hiring for the project labor agreement. So with that, it's the recommendation of BCA to add the PLA to this project. And once again, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Ian. Garcia, any questions?
Thank you, Ian, for that report. I know that this is not your, but I'm still going to ask it since we're here. There's like shy of 3 council districts. Do we know why?
I do not know. Just there's so many different things at play here. I assume, and again, it's my assumption that the intersections that they're looking to do this are just located within those particular council districts. But I think that's more of a DOT question. So
Got it. No, I figured. Thank you for attempting to answer that anyway.
Sure.
But on your part, I'm very happy to add this project labor agreement to this project, of course. So thank you for your report, Ian.
absolutely.
Yeah, Vice President Garcia, yours and my districts are not in there. You noticed that.
Exactly. I noticed mine, yours, and then 12. And I thought, whoa, okay.
No, I noticed that too. President Pro Tem Davis, any questions?
No, I think I was briefed on this one.
Great. All right, Commissioner Closa.
Thank you, President Good. No questions for me, but it's pretty cool. I didn't know we could add a PLA to a traffic light project. So I will remember that the next time I see one come before board.
Thank you. And then Commissioner Villegas.
I have no questions either. Thank you.
All right, thank you all. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Davis got it, seconded by Villegas, Garcia, and Closa. Any concerns?
None for me.
All right, this item is adopted. Hearing no concerns, item is adopted forthwith. Attaching project labor agreement, the project labor agreement to this traffic light synchronization program phase 2. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to item 9, folks. Item 9 is a contract award, Alameda Construction Services, Ventura Boulevard and Woodman Avenue improvements, recommending the board, 1, declare Alameda Construction Services, Inc. sole bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder and award Alameda a contract for this project for $855,454.08, and 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the Board of Public Works or the board to execute the contract after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. Work order E1908174. Who's with us? Steve.
Yeah, it's me, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi again. Steve Chen with the Bureau of Engineering. This project at the intersection of Ventura Boulevard and Woodman Avenue is going to widen the intersection on each side of the street on Woodman by 3 feet, and on 3 feet on the east west side, and then 7 feet on the east side. It's going to extend for approximately 190 feet. So basically, the project will allow us to add a northbound right turn lane, and the existing left turn lane will remain, and the existing combination through and right turn lane will become a through only lane. So that will add the additional capacity there. The work consists of remodeling the sidewalk and bus pad at that intersection. There's also going to be installation of new curb and gutter, asphalt, concrete, and access ramps. And we're also having to relocate traffic signals and catch basins. The project was advertised and we only received 1 bidder. The city engineer's estimate was $858,557. The sole bid from Alameda Construction was $855,454, or about just $100 less than the city engineer's estimate, about 0.36% low. This project was subject to the business inclusion program, and it was advertised with anticipated participation levels of 4% MBE, 2% WBE, 25% SBE, 8% EBE, 3% DVBE, and had mandatory BAP documentation requirements. The contractor pledged 13.43% MBE, 0.5% SBE, 0.5% DVBE, and 18.9% of OBE, and complied with the BAP outreach requirements. Alameda has worked on other projects throughout the city. There has been no significant issues or problems that we have experienced on their record. And in view of this information, we recommend that the board declare Alameda the sole bidder to be the lowest responsive bidder and award Alameda the contract for this project. I'm happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Steve. Vice President Garcia?
No questions from me. Thank you.
All right, President Pro Tem Davis?
Steve, what's the time period of the scope of this project?
The duration is, I believe, 275 days. Let me just yes, 275 calendar days.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Villegas?
I don't have any questions either. Thank you.
All right, and Commissioner Closa?
Thank you, President Good. I don't have any questions for Mr. Chen. I know this was a tough project. It's a goofy intersection, as you can see from the photos in the board report. I'm sad that we only got one bid, but I'm glad that that one bid is low bid. And so thank you for your work on that, but no further questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Closa. Yeah, it's a tough intersection.
Yeah.
I certainly not one that Steve Chen planned, I'll say. Yeah, it is good that we have a little bit there. So I have no further questions either. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Closa. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Davis. And I will assume no concerns because Villegas was at the starting gate from Villegas or Garcia.
None.
None from either.
Hearing no objections, the item is adopted forthwith. Go get them, Steve.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, item 10. This is in CDs since Ian Shanley. This is in CDs 1, 2, 11, and 14. This is a bid extension, Radford Carbon Scrubber Facility Upgrade Capital Improvement Project. This has the earmarks of a Ethan Wong item title. CIP, Richmond Carbon Scrubber Facility Upgrade, Humboldt Carbon Scrubber Facility Upgrade, Bayona Carbon Scrubber Facility Upgrade, and Dakota Carbon Scrubber Facility Upgrade, recommending the board grant an extension of the bid date from May 5, 2021 to May 19, 2021, and 2, instruct the city engineer to advise all prospective bidders of the board's action by addendum. We solicited these bids, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. So Ethan, please go ahead. Is this Ethan?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. This is Ethan Wong with the Bureau of Engineering Environmental Engineering Division. So the motion before you is requesting that we move the bid date for these projects from May 5th to May 19th. These 5 projects that are within the council districts President Good mentioned will all basically scrub foul air from the sewer collection systems in those areas. The reason we are requesting the bid extension is these projects had received numerous questions from prospective bidders right near the end of the period of time that questions were due, which was April 14th, 2021. If we keep the bid date at May 5th, the last day to issue an addendum for the project would have been April 21st, 2021. So we did receive 76 questions from the prospective bidders, and we need extra time. And we're currently preparing an addendum and are just about complete in answering all of those 76 questions. And we should be ready to issue an addendum by tomorrow. But obviously, we can't do so unless the bid date is extended to May 19th. So that's the basics behind the motion. I'd be happy to answer any questions about this.
Thanks, Ethan. Commissioner Villegas?
Thank you. I don't have any questions. I'm good.
Thank you. Closa?
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Davis?
No questions either. Thanks.
Thank you. And then Vice President Garcia.
No questions from me either. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I have no questions. Makes sense. Let's give everybody the opportunity to get their questions answered and get the most, get as many bids as possible. So makes sense. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved.
Or to approve, actually, the motion. Motion to approve from Colosa, seconded by Davis. Garcia, Villegas, any concerns? All right, hearing none, this motion is adopted and approved forthwith. Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it. All right, with that, I believe since we continued item 11, that should clear the decks, correct, Dr. Campos?
That is correct, Mr. President.
All right, with that then, the decks are cleared. This item is officially adjourned. Thank you, folks. Thank you for a great meeting. Again, thank you, Commissioner Villegas and Garcia for coordinating and facilitating the Arab American Heritage Month recognition. Thank you all. Dr. Jordan, Ted Jordan.
Thank you for the promotion.
You want to start going by Dr. Jordan?
No, because then people will call me Dr. J, and that'll be just kind of embarrassing. So, President Good, City Attorney's prerogative. Just a friendly reminder to the public that I believe the board has canceled the upcoming meeting this Friday. So for those listening, we'll see you next on Wednesday.
Thank you, Dr. J. That is correct. We'll see everybody next Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks, y'all.